My name is Joakim, as it's pronounced in Sweden. Over here will be Joakim, I guess. And I come from Uppsala, which is a city in Sweden, northern Scandinavia. I grew up in a church-related home. My father was a priest in a Lutheran church, but he himself did not have really a Christian faith. For him, it was more like a family thing because his father and 4 of his brothers actually also were priests. So he was a priest, but without a personal relationship to God. So that's the environment I grew up in. I knew about God, but I didn't know God. And there's a very, very big difference. So when I was about 14 years old, I turned away from God. I rebelled and I went out in the world. But then when I was 16, 2 years later, Jesus got hold of me. I came to a Christian conference. I sat right in the back and listened to the preachers speaking about Jesus, but in a new and a living way. So that night I responded, I gave my heart to the Lord, and I've never looked back since. I think that Christianity to a large extent is misinterpreted. In my nation, which is a very secularized nation, people think that Christianity is about going to church once a week and praying some prayer because you have to. But I just want to tell the world and tell my nation that it's really much more about knowing God. It's about a personal, beautiful, amazing relationship that can change your life, and about a glowing, burning desire to reach out in the world with the love of God and help people. I've seen in my church so many times thousands of examples that Jesus Christ is alive today. He can change lives today. He can transform people and cities today. And that's what Christianity is all about to me. For me, it was a very unusual and a special thing. I mentioned that I came to the Lord when I was 16 at a youth conference. After that, I went back to my town where I had 2 friends of mine who I used to party with before. And now I went back to them, I shared the gospel with them, and I brought them both to Christ. So now it was me and there was 2 other guys who had been saved 2 weeks less than myself. So because I was the spiritually much maturer one, I took the lead. And pretty much that's where it all started. For me, it was not like Gabriel or Michael, the archangel, appeared and said, "You are now called." I saw a need and I started to meet it. And for me, it was just kind of keeping up with feeding these guys the Word of God that was brand new to me as well. And little did I know that I there took the first few steps, baby steps of leadership that would eventually propel me into what I do today. So a lot of times I think that you shouldn't start out just sitting there waiting for God's calling to come. Look around you, see the needs that the church has got, step into them, fill those needs, and leave the rest to God. I want our church and everywhere we go to be a city transforming, a nation transforming church. I don't believe in church activity as just being within the 4 church walls. In our city, we run a shelter for the homeless, the only one there is. We take care of the refugees. We take care of the addicts. We take care of the people, the immigrants, the people who come to our city and to our nation with various needs. And that's the kind of church that I want to build. One that stands strong on the solid rock of the Word of God, but also allow its light to shine in its society. So that's one of my core visions, to be a church for all people and also be a church for all generations.